Hello. A deep area of low pressure, pretty much centred across Denmark, will bring some rather strong winds into Scandinavia on Wednesday. Chilly breezes generally across the northwest of Europe, with that northeasterly wind direction into the north of France and the north of Germany. And some rain follows on behind the centre of that low as it crosses the Baltic and eventually carries some of its frontal rain towards Moscow for Thursday. Ahead of the front, there's some warmth and some sunshine across Turkey, but as we get towards the west of the Black Sea, you can see the showers there starting to have Bucharest in their sights through Thursday, and a few pushing into the far north of Greece. Some rain across the Alps, still looking cloudy, cool and unsettled for much of Germany and the Low Countries. Some pretty wet weather to the far south of Spain on Thursday as well. This area of showers drifting towards the Balearics for Friday. But you may notice by the end of the week it is looking calmer across Western Europe. It also looks like it will become warmer here in the days ahead. Temperatures have been below average for much of the month of May. Generally across the Mediterranean, a lot of fine weather in the next 5 days. Looking towards the northwest of Europe becomes calmer, a little bit milder, but anywhere really from Germany eastwards, pretty showery in the short term. Hello. Day on day, our temperatures are going to be jumping around all over the place across the North American continent due to our current weather setup. Pulling very warm air up the east coast on Wednesday, potentially record-breaking temperatures here. Much colder air coming south behind this weather front. Some warmer air coming up across the plains briefly through midweek, and then colder air again coming in behind this frontal system. We'll see some quite heavy showers to the east of the Rockies. We could even see a little bit of snow across the higher ground. We have another low coming into the Pacific Northwest that will push cloud and some rain into the coast of British Columbia. It's generally dry as we move down the west coast of the States. Some strong southerly winds though coming up across the plains, pulling heat a long way north, but the temperatures will start to plunge for the likes of Great Falls as that system passes through by the end of the week. Meanwhile, temperatures leaping for the likes of Rapid City. For the east coast of the US, Wednesday widely seeing heat, getting actually all the way up into eastern Canada as well on the southerly wind. The front though gets into eastern Canada later on in the day on Wednesday, doesn't get into the southeast of the US even by the end of the week. So we could still potentially see some record-breaking heat across the likes of Florida and Virginia in the days ahead. Hello. A deepening area of low pressure means stormy times ahead for southern Chile. We will have very strong winds, particularly for coastal areas, some heavy rain pushing onshore as well. Cold southwesterly winds for the Falklands on Wednesday, a high of just 2 degrees in Stanley. Looking further north to Paraguay, Bolivia, we're going to see above average temperatures though in the days ahead. A lot of rainfall still through the north of the Amazon basin, up to the north coast for Guyana, French Guiana, Suriname, Venezuela and Colombia. The totals really adding up now. Just scattered showers, I think, for Carvelas on the tail end of a weather front on Wednesday. It's looking fine and clear as we move our way south across the River Plate. But there, the first signs of that frontal system approaching Valdivia, and you can see a lot more rain to come here. And it stays cold as well, even as things become a little drier for Saturday. Looking towards Central America, quite showery across southernmost Mexico towards Belize on Wednesday, but the heaviest of the rain in this part of the world will link in with the showers pushing north from South America, so affecting Costa Rica and Panama. And in the days ahead, the rain here looks like it will be fairly relentless, so obviously as the totals mount up again, there is that possibility of some flash flooding. Hello. Typically when we look at our satellite imagery for the African continent, all the action is across the equatorial belt. And yes, there is some here on the latest satellite picture, but actually to the northwest, we're getting more cloud currently, and that ties in with a frontal system that will bring some heavy rain across the Atlas from Morocco into Algeria on Thursday. And another frontal system coming into the far south of the continent will introduce some showers into South Africa. For the equatorial regions, in the next few days, actually, I think the rainfall activity may be a little bit below where we'd anticipate it to be. Temperatures above average across South Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. There you see some further showers for Cape Town in our outlook. On the cool side for Algiers, with some rain to come on Friday. Further east and temperatures in the mid-30s as we look to Cairo. And we're going to see, I think, our temperatures creeping up for Tel Aviv and Damascus in the days ahead. It has been very warm across the northern Middle East. Temperatures have abated somewhat now. We picked up a bit of a northwesterly wind, and that shamal around the Gulf will lift some dust and sand on Thursday. But it looks like in the longer term, so 3-4 days ahead, we'll start to see a transition to a more southerly or southwesterly wind direction once again, and our temperatures will push up. Tehran at 35 by Saturday. Hello. In recent days, we've been watching Yas making its way north across the Bay of Bengal and intensifying as it did so. Made landfall now as a very severe cyclonic storm, pushing heavy rain currently into West Bengal and Odisha. It's likely we will see flash flooding here. The storm surge around the system carrying water 2-3 kilometres inland for lower lying areas. Strong winds as well in the short term. They will weaken through Thursday and Friday as the system deteriorates into a depression, then an area of low pressure. But the rain will stay heavy and it'll push across into Bihar and Uttar Pradesh for Friday, that heavier rain. To the north, we have a lot of sunshine across Kazakhstan, some heat for Uzbekistan, above average temperatures to come in the days ahead. Pre-monsoon heat across Pakistan, a little cooler though in the short term for Delhi as we switch wind direction. That again is tied in to the presence of Yas. To the south of the country, strong southwesterly monsoons pushing some heavy showers into Kerala for the days ahead. But our heaviest rain will be courtesy of Yas, and we'll see that affecting parts of Nepal as well in the days ahead. Still some severe conditions to come, even as we continue to see that system downgraded now that it has made landfall. Hello. As we've watched Cyclone Yas moving its way north across the Bay of Bengal, we've also seen the southwesterly winds further south in the Bay of Bengal becoming enhanced. That will mean some heavier rainfall, particularly for Myanmar and southern Thailand in the days ahead. We could be talking about 600 millimetres or so in the space of a week, and certainly that will cause some flash flooding. Some pretty heavy rain pulling away from Japan on Thursday, still some strong winds on the tail end of this low pressure centre, and then the front extends back into southern China, a fairly stationary front in the days ahead. The Mayu front, a seasonal band of rain, it will just shift a little bit further north and south in the days ahead. For Tokyo, things much drier, much brighter and warmer for the end of the week. For Seoul, the chance of some thunderstorms though behind that low in the short term. Thunderstorms for Western Australia from Pilbara south, basically, Thursday and Friday. Some quite warm air ahead of this cold weather front, making for some unstable conditions. Still cool towards the southeast of Australia. Quite windy along the coast of New South Wales with rough surf conditions in the next 24 hours. A low to the northeast of New Zealand keeps the showers coming here on Thursday, and then we'll see a low rolling out of the Tasman Sea, bringing wet and windy weather to both islands for the weekend.